Right, I haven't done a video for a while, but I'll try and go through it a bit slowly. So this one is for the London Stock Exchange, the LSE. Probably for Luke, really. Now, I've come on to what I labelled up as the investment ISA that I had here. And these are all the stock symbols here, or the ticker symbols, however you want to call it. Which is quite interesting because some of these are really good levels at the moment. I was looking at Rolls-Royce. Now, Rolls-Royce is broken out, which I'm gutted that I didn't see. And I've got no positions in any of these at the moment that I'm talking about. So if you look, I'm a bit rusty. So over the next few weeks, I'll see if I can get myself back on form when it comes to chart reading. But you can see the volume coming in here. You can see this is on the weekly chart that the stochastic RSI was bottomed out and now we're going up. As you can see here, with the resistance going along this trend line here, that we've just broken out. So this was a long period. This was from October 18th, now to November 7th. We go back down to September 2000. This is a year. This isn't just a few weeks. This whole period is a year. So exactly a year to date. So you've got like 27th September last year, we get this big buy, and then we just slowly come all the way down. So you could measure that on a weekly over this is a very long period of time. Is without confusing you too much, this is off of Fibonacci level. We've come back to another buying range. So around a 618, taken from this leg to that high point there, the low to the high on a weekly. And now we're in the 618, 786 zone, and they're starting to buy again. So these will be institutional buys. They're coming in. So if I go to the weekly, so monthly here, and you can see that what I was talking about a lot clearer. So we're looking at this low of October 20. So this was 2 years ago. Take the bottom to the high, Fibonacci level. We've come back in a buying range here. 786, between 618 and 786, you can see it clearer. Now, as you can have a look, the stochastic RSI here is bottomed out. So the time to buy Rolls-Royce shares is now. Maybe wait for a pullback. But the stock market's a lot slower than crypto. I don't know when that will be in time period. As you can see, that kind of movement happens in 6 months in crypto. This is the London Stock Exchange, a lot more slower. So you could possibly buy Rolls-Royce shares now and they're going to continue to go up. But I would go as far down as the daily chart to have a look now. So if we go back to the weekly, initially, you can see the downtrend here. I know me and Luke were trading this a couple of years ago. And I had a broker pretty much rob a £1,500 win trade off me. It's always unlucky for me. They didn't pay me out. In fact, they put me in a £300 losing position. Which, when I was expecting to close out on a massive profit, it was a bit wrong what they did. But that's another story. Okay, so I'll have a look at this. I don't want the video to go on too long. I know everyone's got things to do. So this is the first video. I'll probably do 3 videos. I'll probably do US market and I will do crypto as well. But going back to Rolls-Royce here. So as we can see on the stochastic RSI here, we're coming up to a bit of a peak. So what I would do, as it's broke out of this trend line, I'd probably wait for a pullback. if it does pull back, it might not. It might go all the way up to this first level of £1.28 on the first resistance here. So if you have a look, and I put some horizontal resistance here, they could be looking at targeting these. But normally you would have a buy, everyone starts piling in, and then the institution short it and then pick up more. Because I mean, this is a big percentage. When you measure the percentage here, that is 16%. Well, they ain't just play off 16%. They'll have margin trades open on this, and it'll be 160% profit for them. So let's say we pull back. We come in. Hold on, let me remove that. Get another drawing. Get the 3 pen here. I don't want them to go on too long because I'll also be talking to myself, and I'm not putting them on YouTube at the moment or anything like that. So we come back down. Let's just say bounce level, and then we go up to this first position there. If you measure that, that would be 74%. Even if you took the position now and you held out, you might run into a bit of a negative. It's still 44% of your money. Now, I'm very tight. I'd wait for a pullback here. I'd wait for the pullback, and I'd want to try and hit 70%. Now, the pullback might happen like this. We might, if I have a look here, I'm pretty normally good at calling these. So if I remove this line here, I would play the recent high before the breakout. And this is the fib level. This is the low to the high, but obviously high to the low because I'm playing this inverted. So I reckon playing this inverted, we will get resistance in the 886 and the 786. So what I mean by that is that we're going to hit, let me get back to the pen, if it allows me to have a pen, a brush, or highlight, a pen here. What I can see happening is that we come up, we hit the 886, and then we come back down, probably bounce here, and then we'll continue and go up as far as the 128. I'll go again here, and then what will probably happen then is that we'll bounce, and then the old resistance, the old support becomes the new. I'm going to say this backwards now here. So we break through. So the whole old resistance becomes the new support. And then we'll bounce here at about £1. Probably a safer entry with the markets the way they are. It looks like Rishi Sunak's come in and the London stock market's doing really well from it. So, and I think we'll probably have a bit of a run up, maybe 150 a share. So obviously we bounce here, but we could break here, and then we could, the alternative is we could break up here and then come back down and bounce before 150. But I think with the psychological marker of £1 there, we could hit that and we could bounce off a little bit early. But as we see, bounce up, hit 150, and then we'll probably do at least a 618 from that move. So how I do that is, as you can see how this is moved up, the chart will come up, because no chart is a straight line. So we've come up here, we've come back down, we've bounced off this old resistance here, and then we continued on. And now this is a main resistance here. And this would also give us sort of like an S curve, what it's called, like an S curve. You can see that on the chart. Now, I know this video might be dragging out. I haven't even gone to a lower time frame yet. So this is a long-term trade. I'm going to keep these videos on the weekly and the down to the daily. I might have a look at the 8-hour chart on here, and you'll see the volatility in the Rolls-Royce share here. So I'll go back here. So how I'll do that. So a prediction, how I'd see, let's just say almost probably to October next year. November, October next year. This is how the move would go. That's how long it is. If you look here on the time frame here, October. So where would I predict the price to be in October next year? Is that I would take the low to the high. And this is if you wanted to play it really, really safe. And I would, again, you see the numbers repeat themselves. That's almost a pound. So the 618 is at 97 pence a share. And you could have a buy order once we break through around this area, and you would really load up here. And the reason why you'd load up is that we've bounced off the resistance here. If we break through this resistance, which we could break through even higher. We could hit $2.5. Sorry, £2.5 with this being the London Stock Exchange here. But that is approximately probably 2 years. Something massive would have to happen for it to be quicker than that. But if we look to the monthly chart here, where the price broke down, there's no resistance really after here. After the £2.25, we could go all the way up and we could hit £3 a share. This is Rolls Royce. Now, I'm not going to go massively into the lower time frame. I'm just keeping it to the dailies and the weeklies and stuff like that. So if I just remove the drawings here now. So what's happened on the daily? It looks good. And another way to look at it, it looks good, but it's overbought. You can see on the daily we've overbought. So I think we'd probably hit the £1.92. Sorry, 92 pence even. Here, I'd probably look at that. So we'd probably hit this 94 pence. People were getting excited thinking they're going to hit a pound, but you see the resistance there. We've hit it 1, 2. I can see us hitting it the third time. And you could look at this on a region where to buy. Now, you could take the low to this 90 cents region, 90 pence region, sorry. And to me, I would say 75 pence would be a good buy order on this. And you could be tight at 70 pence. And this would be going before Christmas, and hopefully you would hit your 75 pence 3 months or so. Well, probably a bit less. A December, maybe people start selling profits in December. Looking at January, which is a good time to pick up. 75 pence a share of Rolls Royce, I would go. But definitely the institutions are buying on Rolls Royce, because I can show it you here, because the robots are all over the Rolls Royce share on the 8-hour chart. Look at this. To move the markets like this, this is robots. You look at some of the buying going on here. So you've got what is known as an outside bar of the previous day. Sorry, 8 hours, previous 8 hours. You see that? We shoot right up here. Now you look at the percentage gains from the bottom here to the top. 17%. That's huge. And a robot would have sold that all the way down. That would not have been retail. So it's bought there and it's chose a price to sell, and that would have been 77 pence. It sold off, and then it's come along here. Now it's absolutely flying now, because it's broke the sell here, and it's flying up and continue to go up another. Let's have a look here. Let's look how long I've been talking for now. I've been going on and on and on. I'm only on the one share here at the minute. A previous 10%, sorry, 10% there. You can sort of see a double bottom here at 65. Then we hit 65 pence again. The robots have loaded up on there. All the buy orders collectively, bang. And then they sold at 17% gain, which was on Friday the 14th of October 22, which was a good day to make some profit in this. And then they rebought at the 618. I can tell that by even looking, before I even measure with my eyes. Yep. So the robots bought at 65 pence, which was around the bottom before. They bought up the algos did at 65 pence. It shot it straight up to, I think that's 10% there. I can't see. Was that 10%? Sorry, that's 100% profit they did there on that move, I think. Just shy of the 10% prior to that. So shot up. The price came back down, and it was there on the 618, ready to buy. And then you can see that pretty much every man and his dog put a buy order at the 618, and it's just shot up. And you can see the volatility with it selling, buying there, all the way up. And these moves are massive. When you think the way that they're doing these and measuring them off from that high to the low there would be 6%. And they'll buy this moves. They'll make this 5 and 6% all day long. And then we broke out at this range here. Continued on. Right, so that's Rolls Royce. I'm not going to go low time frame on stocks less than 8 hours. There's no point. 1 day is normally good enough. And there is one other way how you can look at this as well. Going into this now is Luke called this the other day the reversal candle. It's not. It's an inside bar candle, but it means there's extreme volatility here. So another way I'd measure that is because we've broken out, and this is a monthly. It's a monthly chart, so you'd get the month price here and the bottom of it, and we broke out. Now, if that price was now to come back into this range, this would be massively bearish, meaning the price is going to come down. And the reason for this is because you come in the previous month's range, and they'll be selling that, and they'll short it all the way down. But at the moment, I think this would just be a bit of a relief. I mean, we come down a lot here. And like I said to you before, there's a couple of ways you could do this on here. You could get this range here on the monthly, and you catapult it from here, from the high, from the low to the high. And where would you think we'll start seeing the bears come in on here? So we see no weakness initially. I mean, this stock market gap up and down. Crypto doesn't gap. The equivalent to the gap is the end of the month salary, end of the month chart, and the Sunday night chart at 0-100 UTC, if I remember right. There is. So around the 618 here is where you could start seeing weakness, but I think we might hit the 786, and then as you can see the pins here, we could short. Now, candle wise, apart from this inside bar here, the yellow candle here is an inside bar. It's kind of tweezer bottom, but yeah, I suppose you could call that a tweezer bottom. So yeah, Rolls Royce is looking good. I wouldn't get into it. Yeah, I'm tight, so I'd want that 75. I'm tight with stocks and loose with crypto, which is mad. So I'd want to see 75 pence before I got into that. We're at 85 now. Codal Minerals. This is one of my favourite stocks, which has made me a lot of money. Most of my profit has come from this stock. It respects the algorithm so well, and when it goes, it explodes. And let's have a look at here. I don't expect it doing anything just yet. We broke down between the 20 EMA there, so it'll probably break down further. 12 pence would be, I'll be selling everything at 12 pence, and I'll be buying more of this. I think this will probably blow again September 2023. I'll be ready, and I would have probably bought this position again. I need to find another account because I closed my ISA down. Yeah, Codal Mineral, I'm not going to go too much into this, but it's always brilliant to pick up at this 786 or 886. Absolutely golden stock. A couple of £100 in this, you can pull out £1,800 worth of profit straight away, and I have done a couple of times. It's good. So it's how I got my deposit for my car. Right, I'll go down to this one. Is Break My Soul. Oracle, not interested really in this because when it does explode, I held this position for 2 years and it broke down before it even shut up like that. But again, it's right at the bottom. It's never been lower, so it could, I don't know, it's not a massive company, but we'll see. It is at the bottom though. Right, BIDS. Now this is one that I really like. This is in advertisement gaming. On this is a London stock as well. BIDS stack. So if you're playing football games and stuff like that, in-game advertisement. So I believe this will be massive in the metaverse. I think it will be great, and it's at the bottom again. It's been at the bottom for a while, and I remember there was some kind of issue happening. I do make money on this quite a few times on this stock, but it's at the bottom. On a monthly, I don't know. It's lower than it's ever been. There was some negativity. I can't remember. I haven't read any of the news. I've done no fundamental on any of this stuff. This is the stuff I've got there because none of you have got back on what you wanted to see. I know that Lou wants PRU, and I'll do that in a second. But I mean, that's a golden indicator. I would play this bullish if I could, but it's still nothing happened. It's very sideways. Weekly might look a bit better. Yeah, so very interesting. I think I've even labeled this up. Yeah, so okay, let me get that. This is coming to a decision point over the next month or so, probably after Christmas. This is probably going to get some news in it, and it's going to go. This is a bull flag. So potentially, if it did go up, if you have a spare couple of £100, you could buy this. These are penny stocks. They're so cheap. There's no resistance for this, zero. So you think with the metaverse, any kind of metaverse thing, if this even teamed up with Facebook, Meta, it'd absolutely explode. And you're looking just for the first resistance here, 412%. That's 4 times your money. I'm definitely going to get some of this. I'm going to keep my eye on it as well. Really good. One of Luke's favourites here, C4DX. To me, I've never liked it. It's never done well. Luke seems to think it's really good fundamentally, but for me, no. This is where Luke's ended our retirement fund here we bought here. It absolutely flew up. It went 1,800%, which I think I had £1,200 on. So we'll look at that calculator. Good times 1,800%. Well, it wouldn't have been too bad for me, but yeah, it would have been 32 grand trade if I kept my position. I know Luke had a hell of a lot more money than me, but again, this is like at 886. It's completely done a complete retracement. So if Luke wants to look at the fundamentals at GTP and see if it'll ever go again, bear in mind it did nothing for 20 years, so I don't know if they'll do another fine. Could be worth researching, Luke, that one. Right, PRU. And I'm going to end this video because it's getting on a bit now and I've got things to do. I don't think I'll get time to do a crypto video today, but I'll try. I'll try and do the ones we spoke about. PUR, I think it was. Let me have a look. Oh, it is. PRU. Positive. Oh, that's just crypto stocks. PRU. PUR, was it? No. Oh, everything. It's getting all sorts of. Okay, so I'm going to do one at London Stock Exchange here because that American US one doesn't work. Right. So on a monthly, let's have a look. Still in trend. I see that candle you're on about. I believe it will hit lower. Just looking at that now, even though it's showing that it's on the RSI, it's completely sold out. That is a big candle there. That's a huge candle. That candle itself is 94%. It's an inside bar as it stands at the moment. This is a monthly. At the monthly, it's completely bottomed out according to the stochastic RSI. It says it's bottom out. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly, you've got an engulfing candle here. So at the end of the day, it's dwarfed an engulfing candle. It's dwarfed the candle previous to it. It's still bearish volume, as you see here. The mouse is still bearish volume, but the stochastic RSI is low on the weekly. On the daily, I reckon it'll be, without even looking, will be high. Yeah, so we're going into the overbought territory here. I think because a lot of these stocks are well oversold, that you could probably say that on a lower time frame, stochastic RSI might not be so accurate. Probably better off looking at a 2 weekly. Yeah, showing a bit of bearish divergence there. If I go to a daily, okay. The way I'd look at this is where I think it's gonna do. It hasn't broken out yet. So if I go to a weekly, it's not broken trend. Trend is still massively bearish here. Line. Yeah, it's done nothing as far as breaking out. If it puts in the same size candle, then you could say that, yeah, it's going to be very bullish. It's a big candle. That's all I can say, Luke, on that. It's a big candle, but it's at the bottom. It's closed. It's a hammer. At the end of the day, it has closed. It's not the best hammer. So you look at this as a pinball machine sort of thing. You pull it back, boom, it sends stock the other way. Basically, it's called a hammer. And it's a candle that looks like a hammer. I mean, you've got hammer, hammer, hammer. You've got 3 hammers on a 2 weekly chart. You've got an inverted hammer. If it breaks above the inverted hammer on the monthly, it will be huge, especially if it goes up as far as the 20 EMA there. If it breaks out of that range, it will be huge. And the range I'm talking about is on the previous month's candle, because this candle has not finished forming yet on PRU. It's not finished. Let me have a look here. Horizontal line. We haven't finished. So we're still in the previous month's range on here. And the candle, I think, started at the 786, which makes it golden as far as people making profit. Like Luke made profit on it as well. And people would have bought it on a 618 of the previous month's candle. And it did. It hit the 786. And that's because I've adjusted my eyes. I can see it without using the indicators now, where I can just tell what something is by looking at it. Because I've spent years looking at these charts. So, okay, so we bounced up. We could keep going. And if we did break out the range here, we could go as far up here as 1127, possibly 1126. But probably more likely, I reckon we'll hit the 618 because there's resistance here. It's hard for me to look at like normal stocks on a shorter time frame on long-term analysis because they close and they can gap up and gap down, which you don't see. You just in the crypto market, you just see it as a mad sell-off, and that's it. So what could potentially happen here? I mean, you look at it. Look at the monthly stock RSI. It just says to me that that's screaming out to get hit, the 20 EMA. Bounce up there, and literally, that's a huge move. From here, this is 31%. You put £100 in, you've made £30. Simple as. On a daily, it's overbought daily. But it looks like it probably hit the Bollinger Band there, put a pin, and then would probably reverse this week. But you could probably get it back in. So to get back into this trade, if it breaks out, now it could break out Monday, it could gap up, and we could be well away. And then you'd look at the reverse Fibonacci's there. I know some of you don't know what the Fibonacci's are, but if you start doing that learning I put in the group, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Right, I'm going to end this video now because I've gone on for too long. So this video was just the London Stock Exchange. I'll try and do a crypto video soon. Okay.